Hello everyone, welcome to the investment banking and fund accounting course. As I mentioned in the previous video, we discussed about course content, the introduction of the course program and everything. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the course content. So this program is designed to give you a comprehensive understanding of both investment banking and fund accounting. And by end of this course, you will be prepared for various roles within the investment banking and fund accounting. So in this video, we are going to dive into the course content and we will explore the key concepts and skills that you are going to acquire through this course. So I'm sharing my screen. Yeah. So in this course, we are going to learn these concepts in different modules. We have classified the course content in different modules. You will see one by one. The first one is investment banking. So first we will cover the investment banking concepts, then we will go for the fund accounting concepts. So in the investment banking concepts, we're going to talk about what exactly this investment banking and fund accounting and what are the different kinds of roles we will get into through this training program. So that will be discussed in the initial phases. Then we will understand the investment banking with in-depth concepts. Like in the module one, we are going to cover all investment banking concepts. We will start with the financial system. What is investment banking? What are the roles in the investment banking and financial system and financial markets? Like why does even the stock market exist? How does someone will make money in the stock market? These kind of concepts we will start initially. Then we will start financial markets. Like we have a capital markets, money markets, foreign exchange markets, and derivative markets. Those will be discussed here in the financial system and financial markets chapter. And in the types of markets, as I said, capital markets, money market, these concepts will be discussed. And in the cash equity, here we are going to talk about the primary market and secondary market, not just basics. We will understand what is the process of IPO and who are the participants of IPO. Like we included the issuing companies, underwriters, and the investors' perspective. All this will be discussed in the participants of IPO, and also the BRL, book running lead managers, and what is the different types of IPOs we have, like fixed price, book building issue. This also will be discussed. And also we will see prospectus, red herring prospectus, drop prospectus, how to analyze those prospectus, what is the important information that we can get through uh, prospectus, that will be discussed because it's very important document providing all the details about IPO. That's the reason we have to focus on the prospectus as well. And also we will understand underwriting. It's nothing but selling of a securities by purchasing any unsold shares or something. So there also we'll spend decent amount of time to understand underwriting and what is underwriting commission. And we'll talk about green shoe options, which is basically a mechanism in the primary market we have. So that also will be discussed in the primary markets. Then we will focus on the secondary market. In the secondary market, all trading related, like we'll start from the Sensex and index calculation. We need to measure the performance of the stock market indexes. So that also will be discussed, how the calculation will be done, and all we will see. And we will see what is the intraday trading and what is short selling, stock lending schemes we have, and also margin trading. And we have a BSC points and NSE points. How to measure the stock market indices using BSC and NSE points. Why there is a difference between BSC and NSE points. All these concepts will be discussed. I know it's not very much relevant to the interview process, but still when you are starting and learning a new course, we need to understand from the scratch. That's the reason we have added even these concepts into the course content. And what is the pre-trading and post-trading hours, the activities before and after the market opens and closes, that will be understanding through pre-trading and post-trading session classes. And the score of an auction markets, the settlement of trades and resolving of unmatched trades and all, we'll understand in the score of an auction markets. And also we may have to learn about affecting trade executions and cost. through ticks as an impact, cost, and liquidity that will be discussed in the secondary market. And also a few other topics like types of orders and double trading, which is illegal activity in the market. That also, just for the awareness purpose, will be discussed. And circuit breakers. There is a mechanism in the stock market to halt trading during some extreme market fluctuations. Why such kind of fluctuations will be there? What are the recent circuit breakers we have experienced in the Indian stock market? That will be discussed. See, when we are discussing this investment banking concepts, primarily we'll focus on the Indian stock market because the main purpose is to understand the concepts. So we will focus on the Indian stock market and we will understand all these concepts. Once we are good with this investment banking concepts, in the fund accounting, maybe we'll move and we'll touch base with the different stock markets across the world. So that's a concept, an idea we have. And we have a financial participants chapter. Basically, we need to understand different types of participants, both in investment banking and also in fund accounting. In investment banking, we have different participants, and also in the fund accounting, we have different participants. So we have added both the concepts. So we'll understand retail banks, the difference between a traditional banking and investment banking, and what is their role in this investment banking, different stock exchanges, what is the government role, depositories, and we have a custodians, brokers, clearinghouse, and different regulatory agencies and regulators we have. All this will be discussed in the financial participants. So maybe here we will touch base with some global stock exchanges, global regulatory agencies will be a touch base, and we will understand those prominence as well. Then fixed income securities, even before we start the fixed income securities, I'll be covering about capitals like uh, we have different types of capitals like equity share capital, preference share capital. Why there is a difference? What will be the process when we are issuing equity share capital and preference share capital? What will be the impact on companies? What is shares issued at a discount? What is issued at premium? All these concepts will be discussed in this concept in this topic. And fixed income securities, bonds like both government bonds, corporate bonds, municipal bonds. You have different types of bonds as well. So that will be discussed, like inflation-linked bonds and angel bonds, junk bonds. All this will be discussed with examples. And bond valuation. We need to determine the value of a bond by considering the future cash flows, which is nothing but the bond valuation. So that will be discussed in detail with examples and calculations. And calculating of YTD, yield to maturity. We have to consider anticipated returns on a bond if we held this bond until maturity. That is nothing but YTM, yield to maturity. So that will be discussed. And take home conventions. Like we have different methods to calculate interest payments, especially related to the bonds and fixed income securities. So those will be discussed. And a dirty price and clean price, where we need to exclude the accrued interest in order to calculate a clean price from the dirty price. Those very much important. In every interview, there will be a question about this dirty price and clean price. That's the reason we have a separate concept to calculate and understand the dirty price and clean price. And from last few months, we have experienced, we got calls from the different recruiters for a role called collateral management and securitization. So that's the reason we have added a points and the course content regarding the securitization, both mortgage-backed securities and asset-backed securities, how it will work from the starting, and collateral management concepts also we have added into this fixed income securities part. Then money market instruments also will be discussed. Again, here the types of money market instruments and repos and reverse reports. Basically, the short-term borrowings and lending agreements we'll understand here, and also the value of a collateral. Again, the haircut concept also will be discussed in the investment banking concepts, and the fast leveling, or fast 157 leveling. How we need to categorize the securities as a level 1, level 2, level 3. Especially, in which category the money market instruments and bonds will be categorized, derivatives will be categorized. That topic also will be discussed. Again, in the financial reporting, I will touch base with that concept just for sake I'm saying it here. Okay. And the next concept is foreign exchange market. Yeah, we will understand the foreign exchange market as well. Futures, forwards, and also the price movements, the FX market, and FX codes. What is direct code, indirect code, and different types of FX trades like spot trade, forward trade, and swap trade, and trope entries. Why we need to post adjustment and trope entries. I mean, there will be discrepancies in the FX valuations. For that reason, we have to post some trope general entries. So we'll understand with an examples. And also we will see all the general entries as well in the foreign exchange market, like what is unrealized gain, realized gain out of foreign exchanges, how we need to account in the books of accounts. All these concepts will be discussed with an examples. Then one more most important concept, a derivative market. So it's very complex and important concept for the investment banking and fund accounting. So we are going to spend decent amount of time in the derivative market. Like we will understand from the scratch, like what is different types of derivatives and futures, options, swaps, and also forward contract, and how to calculate the valuation margin, MTM, margin date, forwards contracts, and we have moneyless concepts like in the money, out the money, and at the money. What is uh, swaps contracts and option breaks, option strategies. These are all not required actually for the interview purpose, but still we need to understand the strategies as the investment part. We need to know the techniques for the trading of options as well. Again, it's not for the trading purpose, just for the awareness purpose. We will be teaching all option strategies and option Greeks. We need to have a understand a metrics to access the options risk. For that reason, we have included option Greeks as well. So we'll be talking about option Greeks as well. And trade life cycle. For the trade life cycle, we have different phases like a front office, middle office, and back office operations. So in each office phases, what will be done, how the trade reconciliations will be done between different participants of markets. These kind of concepts will be discussed in the trade life cycle. And one more important concept, corporate actions. So in this investment banking module, as a corporate action, we will understand basics of corporate actions. What is a mandatory, voluntary corporate actions, mandatory with the choice, and also the NAV impacts, how the NAV will get impacted because of these corporate actions. If there is any, how the capital stock, number of units will get impacted, cash breaks, and break resolutions with the corporate actions. All these things will be discussed here as a basics again. Because once we are done with these corporate actions, we may have to understand the cash and position reconciliation as well because of these corporate actions. So that point will be discussed in the other modules. But in this investment banking module, you will understand all required and basic concepts related to the corporate actions with an examples. And the second module, investment accounting. So before we enter into the fund accounting, we will understand what is fund and what is investment fund. What are the different market players we have, participants again in the investment fund industry, different participants of this industry, and types of funds like we have again mutual funds, private equity, hedge funds, governing funds, and different regulators we have, and the frameworks of the investment fund and parties involved in it, like custodians, investors, fund managers. Some new participants will be coming in this category. So that will be discussed. And from here, we will understand what is NAV, net asset value, which is very, very important for the fund accounting concepts. So NAV is very important. That's the reason we will start understanding the NAV calculations from the module 2 itself, how the NAV will be calculated from the trial balance and from the balance sheet, and how we need to uh, prepare the nav packs along with the general entries from the starting scratch until the end. All these things will be discussed here. And also the reconciliation part. Once we understand the nav part, the total nav components, including income, expenses, market values, pricing, and also we'll talk about pricing and non-pricing components, trades and non-trading expenses, trading expenses. All these things will be discussed in the TNA components, total nav components. Then we will focus on the reconciliations, like trade reviews and trade reconciliations. How to resolve those breaks and what would be the impact on a NAV. We call it the NAV impact. Basically, we will calculate NAV impacts in the basis points. So how to calculate NAV impact from each component of an NAV, and cash reconciliations and position reconciliations also will be discussed in this module. Then, yeah, module 3, fund accounting. So once we understand all the basics of investment banking and also investments, then we'll focus on the fund accounting. So as a fund accounting, we are going to focus and we are going to learn about mutual funds, private equity, and hedge funds. Though the concept is same, but still there will be a lot of differentiations and different concepts will be deviated from fund to fund. That's the reason we will understand all these funds, mutual funds, private equity, and hedge funds, along with the structures and life cycle of a funds and how we need to allocate incomes and expenses like a management fee, carried interest, and a crystallization concepts. With 10 examples, everything will be discussed here. And also we will refer to documents like capital call notices, distribution notices for the private equities and hedge funds. And the performance metrics, especially to calculate the performance fees, we have to consider different metrics like a hurdle rates, high water mark, side pocket funds, especially for the hedge funds, we have the side pocket funds, how to calculate and how to differentiate the liquid and illiquid assets. These kind of metrics will be discussed in this. And distributions, like we have waterfall distributions, American waterfall, European waterfall, how the waterfall calculations will be done, allocations will be done. All these concepts will be discussed here. And also, I forgot to mention, we are going to cover about cap stock activities like subscription redemptions. If you have considered incorrect subscriptions, incorrect pricings and all, what would be the impact on the NAV? That concepts also will be discussed here. And yeah. In the fourth module, we'll focus on the financial reporting. We will see few from the scratch how we need to prepare the financial statements, including a trial balance, balance sheet, profit and loss account, and statement of cash flow statement, and schedule of investment, changes of capital. We do have different financial statements both in hedge funds and private equity and mutual funds. That's the reason we have incorporated this financial reporting. So how we need to roll forward the financial statements from previous period. It can be like a monthly, quarterly, annually. How we need to prepare, from where we need to extract the balances, and also while considering some incomes and investments, we have to understand IFRS concepts as well. So wherever it is required, I don't we are not going to cover entire IFRS standards, but wherever it is required for the recognition or maybe for the measurement concepts, there we will touch base which standard will apply for this income and all will be discussed. That is called financial reporting. And also we will discuss few sample financial statements for both hedge funds and private equity. We can download it from the internet and we will analyze those financial statements for the understanding purpose. What and all items will be there in the financial statement? Because we have seen few questions from the interviewers like what is the asset category for the hedge funds? What is the expense category? What kind of changes that we can see in the partners' capital accounts? These kind of questions we may get from the interviewers. That's the reason we should understand the financial statements as well. So we will discuss those concepts. And yeah, in module 5, we are going to cover all technical tools. As a fund accountant and investment banker, we need to good in advanced Excel, not basic Excel. We should be in a master's with the Excel skills, including formulas, all type of formulas like logical functions, text functions, and also mathematical functions, statistical functions. We have different functions. All these things should be good. So we are going to cover all concepts of Excel. In fact, we are going to create some dashboards, interactive dashboards with the Excel itself. Normally, we will do this data visualization from the Power BI, but still in the Excel also we can create a beautiful dashboards. So that concepts will be discussed. By end of the Excel sessions, you will be able to create interactive dashboards also. Data validations, how to record macros. These things will be discussed in the advanced Excel classes. And coming to the VB and SQL part, I don't say like we are going to cover a lot of topics in this part because basically our ambition, my point is to cover only the basics of VBA and basics of SQL just for the reporting purpose. If you want to automate uh, small tasks using the VBA script, we can automate using AI tools also. We will write the code using AI tools. Like we can leverage ChatGPT and other AI tools to write the VBA code. For that reason, at least we need to understand the requirement of a business and we need to understand the code in order to make it happen in the live. That's the reason we will focus on the basics and we will understand how we can use ChatGPT in order to write VBA script. So that's my agenda here. So till that point, we are going to give you an idea about the VBA. Similarly for the SQL also, not for the entire coding, at least for the reporting purpose. Whatever the commands we need for the SQL queries, those queries will be discussed. And Power BI. Yeah, Power BI also will be covered for the basics only, not for the entire Power BI concepts. Just to create some dashboards, basic dashboards, or to present metrics, we should be able to understand the functions in the Power BI. So in order to add that point also in our resume, we will cover some basics of Power BI. So the expectation wise, I can give you expectations like in terms of advanced Excel, yes, we are going to teach you all concepts in the Excel, advanced Excel, from basic to advanced, how we need to understand the formula from the argument perspective, how we need to write the formula, practicing files, everything will be given for the advanced Excel. You can expect 100% assure, the proficiency from the Excel side. But VBA, SQL, Power BI, we are going to cover only the basics. And in addition to all these, we are going to cover a few workshops as well. LinkedIn creation, Naukri account creation. As I mentioned in the previous video, we are going to create your Naukri account. We are going to create your resume and LinkedIn account as well, because there would be certain keywords where it will pick your profile from the recruiter side. That's the reason we will add all those. We have few professionals as well who are expertise in the Naukri account creation, LinkedIn account creation. Role. That's the reason we will take that ownership and we will prepare all Naukri accounts and LinkedIn accounts. But still, you may have to maintain that accounts like on daily updating and how we can reach out to the recruiters, how we can follow up with the HRs, and also in the LinkedIn, how we can add connections to the different managers, how we can request for them for the openings. These kind of workshops will be given for you. And AI tools workshops. We can leverage more than 10 AI tools for our job purpose, like for the interview preparation. Once we can create the video, we can see the flaws in that video. We can try to improvise and improve the video, the interview preparation, presentation, and also the articles writing. And if you want to get any clarity about concepts, how we can interact with the chat GPT for the topic, promptings. We have a lot of AI tools we can leverage for the interview preparation and for the knowledge purpose. So all these tools will be discussed. And blogs and articles writing, especially once we create a LinkedIn account, we better to write multiple articles on our interested topics. Suppose, we are focusing on the investment banking and fund accounting. If you're writing some articles like maybe a blogs on the investment banking and fund accounting, it will create some impression for the recruiters. Okay, this guy is more keen to learn new concepts and all. That's the reason I will teach you how we can write articles and blogs to create more impressions on the LinkedIn accounts. So the training will be given. And addition to this, there will be daily assignments. Daily assignments in the sense, like once we are done with specific concepts, there will be follow assignments where we need to complete and we can see the performance and understanding on topic. If you're not up to the mark, again we can go back and listen the class. For that reason, we have created some daily assignments so that we can also track your performance. Then blog writing, as I mentioned, there will be training on the articles and blogs writing and roles and responsibilities. So roles and responsibilities means, uh, like as I mentioned, we will take the ownership of preparing resumes and now and all. So if you have added any point in the resume, you may get a question from the recruiter or interviewer at a specific point that you added in the resume. So you should be in a position to answer properly to explain that work we have done related to that specific point that you have mentioned in the resume. For that reason, we'll give you all the explanations for each and every point we have added in the resume. From any corner, if you get any question on your resume, we should be able to answer. In such a way, we will help you for the interview. And we do have different applications in the fund accounting. We for the ERP tools, we use SAP, PEX reporting, different Oracle tools and all, right? Similarly, for the fund accounting also, we have different tools like a Geneva, Investran, and we have ADI and SAP, Cadence, reconciliation tools and all. So all these tools also will be covered. But these sessions are not going to be recorded. We'll have a live sessions like for monthly or weekly ones. Not weekly, definitely it will be monthly only. We'll conduct few sessions There we'll give you training on these applications, how these applications will work, what is the integration between the different parties. As I said, different financial participants will be there, right? How these systems will be integrating with them, how we are going to post journal entries in these applications. That way, we are going to give you training so that maybe you'll get understanding about those applications also. Maybe if you are going for any company after tracking interview, you don't want to feel any difficulty in understanding these applications. At least if you are good in understanding how these applications will work on it, it will be easy for you to pick up the activities and tasks. That's the agenda of this course content, guys. I hope you understand. If you have any doubts, you can reach out to us about the course content. Thank you.